MAGA cultist Marjorie Taylor Greene appeared on the podcast of fellow MAGA cultist Steve Bannon, in which she peddled a number of deranged conspiracy theories, including the idea that, number one, President Obama is running the country, number two, elusive proof that the 2020 election was stolen is finally around the corner and she'll have it to produce pretty soon, and number three, there's conspiratorial election shenanigans going on to try to rob the Republicans of victory in 2024. But before we unpack all of that deranged stuff, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bell before you go. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, friends, don your tinfoil hats because we have maximum Marjorie Taylor Greene craziness. I'm going to play several clips from her appearance on the Steve Bannon War Room. And I should also add, at one point, Steve Bannon says something crazy. It's not exactly out of the ordinary. I will say, the craziness between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Steve Bannon, it's just a different flavor. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a moron and a cultist in the truest sense. Steve Bannon gives me the vibes of somebody who has joined the cult to try to steer the cult for his own cynical or political purposes. I'm not sure he's actually drinking the Kool-Aid himself, but man, he'll bring the cup to his lips and pretend that he is. So here's one clip in which Marjorie Taylor Greene talks about how President Obama is actually the one running the country, not President Biden.
Well, I think it's what we've all known all along. Obama is running the country. Obama is having his third term, so to speak, and everyone's always known that. And of course, he's coming out as the leader of the Democrat Party because he always has been the leader of the Democrat Party. Joe Biden is just a puppet dangling on the strings, doing what Obama wants him to do.
It's funny because there's actually been reporting to the contrary that President Obama and President Biden have had numerous disagreements about how President Biden's run his campaign, for example. I think this is in reference to the fact that President Biden and Presidents Obama and Clinton have been appearing together for a fundraising event. As a matter of fact, I believe that their most recent fundraising event with the three of them raised $25 million. It was the biggest fundraising event, I believe, in political history. And so now Marjorie and others are using this as an excuse to try to validate Donald Trump's gaffes, in which he constantly refers to Obama when he means to refer to Biden, by saying, actually, no, it really is. This is proof that Obama's running the Democratic Party. Okay, Marge. And in this next clip, she also throws that in there as well before she adds some other crazy stuff.
Obama is the leader of the Democrat Party, and he's been running the White House this entire time.
Georgia is absolutely a linchpin state here, right? We got to win Georgia, or President Trump is not going to return to the White House. So we got to win it like we won it in 2020. Of course, they stole it. I don't know, 9 or 10,000 votes. How does this play, do you believe, in the entire state of Georgia? How do you think this sets with people? You got Larry David, you got the laughing Hollywood elite, you've got Al Sharpton, you've got Morning Mika. They're all in. Obama's there, $25 million. How does this elite Radio City Music Hall? They're going to do an after party. Dr. Jill's going to do an after party, right? Hanging with her buddies. How does that set down in Georgia?
It doesn't set well. So basically, how we see it is that's the elites dancing and drinking and dining on the top part of the Titanic, while the Titanic is sinking and people are drowning and people are losing their homes and they're filing bankruptcy and they've racked up more credit card debt than they ever thought was possible in their lifetimes. But yet the Bidens and the Democrats and all of these elites in our country are pretending it's not happening. And
so Bannon did confirm that the figure was 25 million. I do like how he says we got to win Georgia like we did in 2020. Obviously, they didn't win Georgia in 2020. But yeah, if that's how you want to win, then please be my guest. Please have a repeat of 2020. I would love it. Also kind of funny to hear Marjorie Taylor Greene stammer through some sort of indictment about President Biden and Presidents Obama and Clinton and others having these luxurious parties, these elites, when Donald Trump is partying all the time at Mar-a-Lago as a New York real estate billionaire. Apparently, he does it in a non-elite fashion, these private galas, these ballroom galas where he's dressed up in tuxedos and their dress gowns and things like that. That's not elite because it happens in Florida, I guess, and Republicans are doing it. But when Democrats get together, that's elitism, which is very bizarre. Another clip here in which Marjorie Taylor Greene again suggests, because she like Trump won't let this go, the 2020 election obviously wasn't stolen. It was Greene and Trump and others who tried to steal the election from President Biden, but they won't let that go. They won't let that conspiracy theory go. So here she is relitigating it for no reason and suggesting that, well, the proof that we have, we'll have it for you all pretty soon. It's been 4 years.
Happened in 2020 when absentee ballot voting was at its highest. And so when President Trump got on the phone with our Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, and said, can you find the votes? Where are they? He was basically looking for ballots. And these ballots have been lost in the mail. And so there was nothing wrong with what President Trump said. As a matter of fact, I think he'll be vindicated easily by a lot of the work that I'm doing and the proof that I'll be showing pretty soon.
Okay, Marge. Obviously, you remember that phone call. It was one of the most infamous phone calls and public demonstrations of corruption that we've seen. And naturally, it would be from the Republican Party and Donald Trump, in which he's pressuring election officials in Georgia. Guys, just find me 11,788 votes. We just need one more. You know, that's how you know Trump was actually fishing for fake votes, because if he genuinely believed that he won by a total landslide, he wouldn't simply be asking for one more than Joe Biden. He would say, guys, I know there are like 30,000 votes missing. There are 30,000 votes you haven't accounted for. We need you to find them. Instead, he gave a very specific self-serving number, which was merely one more than the guy who actually won the 2020 election, Joe Biden. And we'll play this clip here, probably not the full thing, but again, Marjorie Taylor Greene and her conspiracy-addled brain is suggesting that, in fact, the current election system is being rigged to preempt a victory for Donald Trump and the Republicans in 2024. Does she have evidence? Obviously not, but it just feels good for her to say.
Extremely upset, especially since I've been learning about the failures of the post office and how many absentee ballots do not get counted because they come in late. And this is something that I'm working on very hard with some election offices across the state. And it's more I've got to deliver to you at a later time when I have the numbers.
Hang on, but I know. You want to get the facts first. Are you telling this audience, the most powerful audience in all MAGA, that there are issues with the primary that really haven't been disclosed yet, that there are issues with mail-in ballots in the Georgia primary? Is that what you're telling us?
Yes. How could that is absentee ballots that people trust to be able to vote on and to be able to mail in and trust that their vote will count are not coming in and being counted on time. As a matter of fact, many of them are coming in late. And enough of them are coming in late that could affect our election in 2024. And that's going based on the presidential primary in Georgia that just happened just a month ago. That's also based on 2022 and 2020. These absentee ballots cannot be trusted because the post office is not delivering them. Now, the question as to why the post office is not delivering them is a whole nother issue.
Whole Nother Issue should be the title of her autobiography, because she's got an endless supply of them. Listen, it's fun to make fun of Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's good. It's cathartic. It's the only right response to her. Yes, she's dangerous. She wields state power as a fascistic cult member. She hates democracy. She hates popular majority. She hates the will of the people. She loves Donald Trump. She hates the Constitution. She thinks he's a god king. And she wields state power as an elected member of Congress. So it's good to make fun of her. And the problem is, there doesn't seem to be an end to her conspiracy theories or her association with power. What I mean to say is she's still in office. She has been reelected. She seems to have close proximity first to former Speaker Kevin McCarthy when he was Speaker, then apparently to Mike Johnson, but not so much now. So she's a very influential chaos agent, and she's not seen the political or electoral repercussions of her actions. Hopefully that will happen in the next election for her. It would be nice to see. But in the short term, we need to identify these conspiracy theories, make fun of them, and do everything in our power to make sure that Donald Trump doesn't win the 2024 election, which is why if you're an eligible voter, I would encourage you to make a plan to vote blue in November. Let me know what you think. in the comments.